Hello, you're watching VNA News Bulletin. I'm Bong from Hanoi, and now the highlights. National Assembly Chairman Nguyen begins official visit to Laos. Vietnam starts exporting fresh mango to Australia. Russian artists perform in Hanoi's walking streets. Prime Minister Nguyen has pledged to create favorable conditions for the public security ministries of Vietnam and China to deepen their cooperation. The government leader made the promise while receiving Chinese Minister of Public Security Ho Chi Minh in Hanoi on September 26. Prime Minister Phuc suggested the two sides organize more regular meetings at central, provincial and district levels to better address problems arising in areas along the shared border. The two ministries should also enhance the sharing of information and experience in combating crimes, particularly high-tech crime and sabotage of national security, while launching more joint drives to crack down on transnational crime such as drug and human trafficking. He emphasized that the two countries should address the sea-related issue in the spirit of understanding and mutual respect, while seriously abiding to the declaration on the conduct of parties in the East Sea and working towards finalizing a code of conduct in the East Sea. For his part, Minister Nguyen informed his host that the two public security ministries had successfully organized the 5th Conference on Preventing and Combating Crimes. The minister supported the view that the two sides should increase mutual visits and intensify partnership not only in law enforcement and security, but also in economic activities and trade, benefiting people of both countries. The same day, Prime Minister Nguyen received Deputy Chief Commissioner of the Indonesian National Police, General Saifuddin. Prime Minister Phuc suggested the Vietnamese Ministry of Public Security and the Indonesian National Police closely cooperate in fighting transnational crimes and terrorism. He urged Indonesia to continue working closely with Vietnam and other ASEAN member nations to ensure intra-bloc solidarity and ensure the common stance and voice and the vital role of the bloc in solving issue-related issues. General Saifuddin hoped that Indonesia and Vietnam would boost closer security links, especially in fighting terrorism. He affirmed that Indonesia wants to join Vietnam and other ASEAN member nations in safeguarding navigation security, safety and freedom and peace in the East Sea in line with international law. National Assembly Chairwoman Nguyen has arrived in the Laos capital city of Tien, beginning an official visit to Laos from September 26 to 27th at the invitation of her Lao counterpart Pani Yathotu. Chairwoman Nguyen and the Vietnamese delegation were received at the airport by Vice Chairman of Lao National Assembly Bun Phong Bun Thanavong, Chairman of the Lao National Assembly's External Relations Committee Esava Vovichit, and Vietnamese ambassador to Laos Nguyen Mạnh Hùng. The visit, the first brought by Nguyen as chairman of the National Assembly, aims to further bolster the time-honored friendship, special solidarity and comprehensive cooperation between the parties, states and people of Vietnam and Laos. It also aims to carry out cooperation agreements between two national assemblies and enhance exchange and experience sharing between them. The same day, Chairwoman Nguyen and Lao Vice President Phan Kham Viphan attended the opening ceremony of a photo exhibition featuring the legendary Ho Chi Minh Trail in Laos during the 1961 to 1975 period. Nearly 100 pictures taken by world reporters illuminate the glorious period in history of the people and armies of Vietnam and Laos when they fought together in the war against the U.S. under the leadership of the Labour Party of Vietnam, now the Communist Party of Vietnam, and the Lao People's Revolutionary Party. A map of the Ho Chi Minh Trail, which was drawn up based on the historical documentaries as well as memories of Chun Sen soldiers, is also displayed for the first time. Vietnam and Italy have agreed to step up transport cooperation, especially in aviation, seaport and railway, and share experience in easy traffic jams in big cities. Minister of Transport Nguyen and his Italian counterpart Graziano Dario reached the consensus during their talks in Hanoi on September 26. Nguyen said Italy boasts scientific advances and strengths in manufacturing, urban traffic, railway, aviation, and marine shipping. So Vietnam wants Italy to share its experience in these fields. Minister Dario affirmed that Italy is willing to share experience in easing traffic congestions, but Vietnam should develop its public transport networks first. He also promised to urge the Italian parliament to create more optimal conditions for Italian businesses to invest in projects in Vietnam. The two ministers hoped that the upcoming visit to Italy by Vietnamese President Trần Đại Quang would offer a chance for the two nations to evaluate their cooperation potentials, especially in transport. They expected to sign a memorandum of understanding on cooperation during the trip. Vietnam's fresh mango are being sold in several stores and supermarkets in Perth City in the state of Western Australia after the Agricare Vietnam company shipped 1 ton of Cao Lãnh green skin mango to the country. This is the first time Vietnam has exported mango to the country after 7 years of negotiation for the approval of Australia's Department of Agriculture. To be able to ship the fruit to the country, Agricare Vietnam worked with farmers in the Mekong Delta province of Đồng Tháp to plant mango in line with the Vietnam Good Agricultural Practice standard. Mango cultivation also had to meet Australia's strict requirements relating to production stages, fetal quarantine and food safety, irradiation and transport. Vietnam began exporting fresh lychee to Australia in June last year, marking the first time the fruit gained entry into this market. Australia is also buying mangoes from Thailand and Mexico. The country will purchase more mangoes from Vietnam to meet the increasing local demand during the period from mid-March to late May annually. Vietnam has seen a sharp surge in the number of newly established enterprises since the two laws on investment and enterprises took effect on July 1, 2015. The Business Registration Management Agency reported that more than 105,975 enterprises with a total registered capital of 767.9 trillion dong, equivalent to $34.28 billion, was set up in 1 year from July 1, 2015 to July 1, 2016. The number of newly established enterprises rose 27.8% against the previous year, while the registered capital surged more than 42%. As for foreign direct investment enterprises, the agency reported that 1,660 FDI firms were set up in the period, with a total registered capital of $2.76 billion. Besides the surge in the number of newly established enterprises, the new laws also contributed to enhancing the freedom of enterprises to do business in all industries and sectors that are not prohibited. The laws have also helped enterprises save time and money by shifting the attitudes of state management agencies. The ministry reported that the most significant change is in the time it now takes the registered firms nationwide an average of 2.9 days. Working hours at municipal and provincial departments of planning and investment nationwide also grew 40% to 10 to 15 hours per day. Vietnam's export earnings from agroforestry aquatic products are estimated at $2.5 billion in September, bringing the 9-month figure to $23.3 billion, up 6% year-on-year. According to the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, the country exported 396,000 tons of rice, worth $176 million in September. For the January to September period, the volume of exported rice hit 3.76 million tons, valued at $1.69 billion, down 16.4% in volume and 12.5% in value, respectively. China remains the largest importer of Vietnamese rice with a 35.5% market share, followed by Ghana and Indonesia with respective market shares of 11% and 9.4%. Meanwhile, coffee recorded a 22% export growth, the strongest among industrial plants from the same period last year. As many as 113,000 tons worth $221 million was shipped abroad during the month, driving the total volume and value for 9 months to 1.39 million tons and $2.48 billion. Exporters of cashew nuts and pepper raked in $2 billion and $1.19 billion respectively, from selling 255,000 tons and 146,000 tons during the 9 months. Suffering a downtrend for the period, tea and rubber bounced back, enjoying positive growth of 0.2% and 1%, earning $152 million and $1.1 billion respectively. Shipments of aquatic products are estimated to hit $4.9 billion in the 9-month period, rising by 4.3% from the same time last year. Forestry export was valued at $5.1 billion, equivalent to the same period of last year. Variety shows performed by Russian artists have become a highlight on Hanoi's walking streets at weekends. Let's find out why.
Circus acts, magic, soap bubbles, and stilt walking are exciting the crowd. The audience's applause, in turn, excites the performers.
Первая причина – это интерес.
Hanoi's walking streets are an ideal venue for us to perform. Firstly, we will perform here day and night for 1 month. A lot of different items will be performed to entertain Vietnamese audiences.
Maybe usually in the evening or in the morning.
I performed 2 to 3 meters stilt walking. I started training 6 years ago. Normally, I perform at street festivals in Russia and other places around the world. I was very happy that Vietnamese spectators asked me to take pictures with them after the show.
I really like this place.
With more walking streets recently opening, more people are visiting streets for the cultural and art activities on show. More foreign artists have also come to perform. The streets are expected to be not only a cultural destination, but also to host world-class art performances.
For me, stilt walking and soap bubbles are really impressive. Many people came for taking photos after the performance.
Первая причина – это интерес. Все-таки другая часть континента, мир такой огромный, мне очень интересно было.
We have performed here since early September, yet Vietnamese spectators have surprised me due to their interest. The applause excites us and gives us more confidence. This is my first time in Vietnam, and I can feel Vietnamese people's hospitality. I hope that we will continue to entertain Vietnamese spectators.
Для меня честь выступать здесь перед людьми, которые так отзывчивы, которые так улыбчивы, которые...
These impressive performances are in the cultural exchange framework between Vietnam and Russia. Within the framework, Moscow sends artists to perform during September on Hanoi's walking streets.
And that's wrap up our news bulletin. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.